Welcome to our channel Gudmann and Gyda. In this video I will cover the basics of shooting birds in flight and getting sharp photos like this one. In general, trying to get sharp photos of birds flying, it's a matter of having a fast shutter speed. Usually for big birds you can get away with down to 1/1600 in shutter speed, but the smaller the bird gets, the faster it flies, and I would recommend 2500 as a starting point for most birds. Today I have good light, and that means I am shooting 3200 or so, because I can use aperture from 5.6 to 8. I don't like to shoot wide open. This lens is a 400 f4.5. Instead of shooting all of this at 4.5 to get that dwarf in the background, I'm not after that. I have a clean background right over there. It's the ocean, and my goal is to get most of the bird in focus and sharp. So using an f-stop like f8 is preferable, but what you have to keep in mind is the ISO. Do you have to go very high with your ISO? How much can your camera withstand in ISO? This one, the Nikon C7 Mark II, I go up to 3200 for shots like this. I could go higher, but I don't like to. So I try to keep it not much higher than 3200 ISO. Changing the aperture, the smaller it gets, like f8, f9, the ISO will get higher. When you have a bright day like today, it's easier, because like today I'm shooting at auto ISO, and usually it's around 1600 ISO, and that's f8. That's quite good, because the whole bird is in focus and sharp. As for autofocus systems, it depends on the camera model you're using what to use. I'm not going to recommend any specific autofocus method except using continuous focus. All cameras have that, but today some cameras have tracking focus, which is very good for tracking the bird and tracking the eye of the bird even. This camera is not designed for wildlife, at least it's not behaving like that. It's designed for landscapes, and that's why I bought it. I don't think the camera or the model or how fast it is going to be the deciding factor of if you're going to get the shot or not. There are a few things you can do to make it more likely that you will get a good shot. Number one, location, location, location. A bird cliff like this one is of course offering many opportunities to get a shot. I have a lot of birds flying past here, and as you can see, the puffins, they are just 3 or 4 meters away from me. What can I say? I have a lot of chances. So if you have maybe 10 birds a day flying past you, good luck. But I get maybe 10 chances in 1 minute at a good location like this one. It's very important to locate yourself the way that, like for today for example, the wind is coming this way. It's going at the cliff, which means the birds, they are blown towards me. They get closer, and we have the air going up, which means that some of the birds are hovering. They go very slow, and I try to position myself the way that the birds are flying against me, towards me, you say. For the purpose of the video, I located myself the way that the sun is towards me, but usually I like to locate myself for bird shooting the way that the sun is going towards the bird, and I like to have the light a little bit, the sun, a little bit at my back, so I get the birds illuminated when they are flying towards me. And a bit more about the settings. Talking about frame rate. Of course it depends on the camera you're using. This one, as I said, can only take 5 reliable frames per second, and using the continuous focus when a bird is flying towards you. Some autofocus systems are offering a faster frame rate, but not necessarily offering a perfect focus between the shots. So test your camera, see what it can do, and I'm sure some of you using fast cameras in Canon and Nikon or Sony that can go up to 12, 14 or even more frames per second. Use it, but actually, even though I would like to have a faster frame rate, I'm not sure I would like to go through all the shots when you're shooting 10 or 20 frames per second and having to go through all the shots. Lenses have a lot to say about how many frames you get, because using your longest lens is not necessarily very wise. This is a 400, good for conditions like this. A 300 would be great also. Most cameras today, the sensors, they offer a lot of cropping, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. Having tried to use and often used 500 and even 600 for shots like this, it's more difficult because, as you can see, the puffins are flying fast, and good luck getting them into a 600mm frame when they are only 5 or 6 meters away from you. Well, if they're further away, yeah, it's a good idea to use more millimeters, but I prefer to try to position myself so I have a lot of chances to shoot puffins close by, like this little fellow. You see how close they get, and that's difficult to get them in the frame with a 400. A very important tip I can give you about shooting birds in flight is stability and practice. Well, if you shoot like this, you try to follow the bird with your arms just like this, the elbows just loose. You're not going to get many shots. So I would advise you to study how do rifle shooters shoot from the guns, from the rifles. They try to be as steady as they can, tuck their elbows in, and use the body to move. And the way I like to do it, I try to keep one elbow at the knee to have a steady point from there. It's going to limit the movement of my arms, and tuck the other elbow in, and you can see I'm holding the lens like this quite fast, quite hard, and this way I can use my body to move the lens and follow the bird instead of just the arms and everything is loose and you don't control the camera. This increases your chances of getting the shot you want. Sitting down, better, because it's more steady. Just like shooting a rifle, standing is the most difficult position. Kneeling down, second most difficult. Lying down, the most steady one. It's not really practical here to lie down in the grass, but you could do that because some of them are flying straight at you, and yeah, it's possible, but I find it just as good to have more flexibility by sitting down and kneeling down, having my elbow at my knees and being steady. See, got this one. It's even in focus. Yeah, the puffins are very fast flyers, but the razorbills and guillemots like this one, they fly even faster. One more thing about being steady. Use your forehead. You see how I do it? I put this down, I tuck my elbow in, and another point is my forehead. I press the camera against my forehead, which means that it's going to make me even more steady. When I see a bird coming towards me, I like to start by putting it in the frame at a long distance, follow it, and when it's coming in reasonable distance, that's when I start shooting. A bit more about settings. Most cameras offer stabilization of some sorts. Stabilization systems in cameras have usually 2 or 3 settings, like a tripod setting, which is meant that the camera is still, you're shooting at something which is also still, but you need to limit circular kind of a shake. Then the setting you would like to check out is what I call follow settings, or in some cameras like this one, a sport setting, where you are following something that's going very fast, and it means the camera is trying to limit the shake, not up and down shake, but the shake that's following the bird. I don't know how to explain this better in English, but if you want it in Icelandic, let me know. I'm sure I'm forgetting something about shooting birds in flight, and this is just something that came out of my head while sitting here and watching those beautiful birds fly by. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something from this.